We'll settle in here. This guy's trying to tickle me in the armpit. Section 4, this is about defining the good idea. This is the brain behind the business. This is why your business exists in the first place. As I mentioned earlier, is it a good idea? Is it good in the sense of it being a clever, problem-solving, money-making, strategic business to be out in the marketplace? And is it also anchored in goodness so that if hundreds or thousands or hundreds of thousands of people interacted with your brand or bought your product, would it be genuinely good for the world? That's what articulating this good idea is about. Getting this idea across to your ideal customers in a succinct, compelling way so that they understand who you are, what you're doing, and why it matters in an instant. This section, there's going to be a handful of questions and I'm gonna roll through them. I'll put them up on the screen, but if you need to pause, because these are big questions, please do. Take time here, don't rush through this. This is important to do a bit of soul searching at this stage in the game. The first question is this: what opportunity motivated you to start this company? Think back to the early days of origination and ideation. What were you seeing in culture or in your industry that you viewed as an opportunity and you thought, man, if I can jump into this and I can do X, Y, Z, then I can make an impact, then I can make some money, then I can change some lives. What was that early inception or conception of an idea? Take a minute and think through that. Write down some notes. I'll wait. The next piece, and it might be part of that opportunity that you saw, is who is this for? Who are you passionate about helping in your space? All businesses exist to solve some sort of problem for some sort of people group. Who is it for? A lot of times we look at things in a very sort of flat demographic sense, but it's helpful to look through the lens of psychographics, unifying ways of thinking and personalities that might unite an otherwise disparate group of demographics into common themes of types of people, people that are motivated by certain things, people who are striving towards certain goals, people who think certain things are funny. There are a lot of great resources out there about psychographics, but the easiest way to think of it is just what are some of the common ways that your ideal customers think, and what are the common problems that they were experiencing that you said, I can start something that can help solve some of those problems, relieve some of these burdens, create more fun or joy or whatever it is that was that early motivation to get you started. And it's a good opportunity here to actually take it a click further and think through the lens of designing your ideal customer, because perhaps that's shifted from the day that you started this thing to today. Instead of just describing who has been buying from you, let's pretend we had 500 of your ideal customers walk through your door tomorrow. What are they like? What does life look like for them? Describe them in detail. What are they interested in? What do they spend money on? What do they spend their time doing and caring about? What are they passionate about? What do they prioritize in their lives? This is a great way to sort of reverse engineer our ideal customer and looking at their psychographics, so that we have some of these unifying aspects of a persona that we can then engineer our personality towards down the line. All right, now I want to talk problem. What problem does your company exist to solve? Those people that you're serving have some sort of problem that they can't overcome on their own, or they wouldn't need you, right? So there's some obstacle, there's some burden, there's something in the way of them getting what they want in life that they can't overcome on their own, right? Or else your company wouldn't exist. There's something getting in the way. And what is that thing? Sometimes it's helpful to look at it on an external level, like very plainly, if we were starting a lawn care company, we would say they have a brown lawn. Okay, that's the external problem. But take it a click more internal. How does that problem make them feel? If I have a brown lawn, how do I feel about that? Well, I might start internalizing that the neighbors are viewing me a certain way, or if my in-laws are coming to visit and they see this, brown lawn and that I can't even take care of the lawn, then how am I going to care for their daughter and how am I going to raise their grandkids? Wherever you want to take it, How does this external problem affect their internal psyche when they lay down at night and they're thinking about these things in their lives that are kind of haunting them? And then sometimes it's helpful to sort of look at the larger cultural situation and zoom out a little bit and imagine, man, if more and more of these people had this problem solved, then how does it impact the world? How does it impact our local culture? How does it impact the region or our country? How does, if our company is successful, how does the success of our company tie into the greater good for the world? And lastly, sometimes it's not acknowledged, but I think it's so important, is to just recognize or ask yourself, what aspects of this business are you most personally passionate about? Remove money from the equation. Sure, you can say, well, I'd love to make $1 million, but removing money from the equation, what motivates you to get out of bed day in and day out? These are helpful questions to get under the surface as to why our company exists in the first place. And today's consumers care more and more and more about why your company exists, what it's doing for the world, and why we should care about it in the first place. Okay, now that we've talked a little bit about the brain, the head behind this thing, let's start talking about the transformation that you're promising your customers.